Pipeliners podcast, back with another uh, exciting episode. We got a couple special guests, Malcolm Benefield, and then his son Slag. Let's see that. Let me see Slag. They named him after his daddy's welds. Them 798 welders. They leave a lot of slag. They're known to leave a lot of slag.
I bring slag to the job.
Yeah.
Every time.
Yep. So we're gonna talk about both sides of it. There's good sides, or there's good things about both of it. I've never worked any union jobs, but I got a lot of buddies that do it, and it's hard to get one of them welders to badmouth the union. So
Yeah.
can't be too bad.
All I've known about it is whenever they're on them jobs, they make good money.
Mm-hmm.
What is that like? What's the pay like?
The pay scale for union up north around Pennsylvania and stuff make 56, 22, and 150 or 155, something like that.
That's about as high as you can hear of on a non-union job.
Yeah, that's it. Like that, and I haven't even been on one of those.
No,
My first union job, I made over 100,000 in 4 months.
No shit.
Yeah,
That was a good job.
that was a lick.
You take some time off after that one.
No, I was married then.
Well, yeah, that's like everybody saying cap on that Tyler Sassy making 300,000 in a year. I don't know if he did or didn't, but it's possible.
Yeah.
I got a couple buddies that made over 3 in a year.
No shit.
Yeah, it's definitely possible
Union or
doing
non
that.
or
Union.
both? Just
Union.
straight union.
Yeah.
You
But
can,
that's it's hard to get into because that one guy that me and you talked to, I don't want to say his name or whatever,
Yeah.
but he's what, third generation?
Yeah.
So like I feel like that's how it's got to be. You got to be born into it almost to really get anywhere with it or to stay busy working. So, how'd you just
Well, in 17, they is
needing them?
needing a lot of welders. And
Come on, Slag.
no, I like Josh. He's a nice dude.
He is. He's got a tool for everything. About like Bean the other day. We got a guy out there named Bean, Jason Bean. He had a piece that would go in a 90 and had notches on it to where you can pick a 90 up.
Mm-hmm.
level.
Perfectly level. This was a 20 inch.
Yeah, 20 inch,
500
500 wall.
Pick it
You
up.
can't
level.
just put the old rusty eyeball on it and put a flat strap on it.
That's usually what I do.
I know them 798 welders, they most of them just glorified bead hand from a promised land.
Oh,
Yeah, that's all I ever do.
Yeah, I
Just
mean,
run-
that's really all I
even-
thought there was. I didn't even know there was a firing line behind me.
No, even on fab, I just run beads.
I like this dude already. Why you steal my spit bottle?
You need one? I got a bunch of them around here.
I had one at one
But
point.
yeah, that pay scale, that's a nice pay scale. I mean, with that one, when we was in New Mexico, 43, 17, and 100, that's the highest I've made.
That's pretty much.
You know,
I mean, it's all right, but it's
Plus,
hard to
you
hear
get
anything. more than
$9 an hour goes to your 401k
that. Yeah,
on top of that.
that none of us welders are responsible to do anyway.
Right.
So it's good to have them that they
And
do
also,
that.
I mean, whenever you're making $56 an hour, you
You
can
ain't-
put
you ain't
$10.
missing that.
You can put $10 an hour and still be making more than non-union.
right.
Mm-hmm.
And so you'll be putting $19 an hour into a 401k, plus you get insurance and
You'll be glad you did that later on.
That's what I was saying. It sounds great if you can stay busy doing it, you know. But the fact that you work, 4 months.
They're
Possibly.
supposed to go by the wheel, but they don't always do that.
That's what because I've also heard that they can pick a certain amount of welders, and then they got to go off the wheel. Is that right?
yeah, it's 50-50.
Okay, so if a
50
job
off.
asks for
Yeah,
20
half
welders,
of who they want and half of who they gotta have.
Yeah.
Okay, well, so if you're sure enough in the clique, you'll stay working.
Yeah. And is low scale around Texas and Louisiana and stuff. It's like 40, 22, and I don't even know the per diem on that. I
Yeah,
think
they
it's
was
still
running-
150 though. You can run 75, 25, 25 off the wheel.
$75 that you want.
Contract, yeah.
Dang.
798 come through there whenever I was working around Toledo Bend. They were coming through around Manny or somewhere, but they stayed in the same. Some of them were stayed in the same RV park as me, and I was making more than them at that point.
Yeah. Contract though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's what, man.
They were making like 4,000 a week.
Yeah.
Which that's lower scale for a union job.
Yeah. But hell, I mean, they're making $4,000 a week, paying in all that money to the 401k.
Yeah, they are. They got way more benefits. It's good money.
Yeah, I believe so.
If you can't make it on that, I don't know.
You got some problems, bro.
You're married.
Yeah, you know,
But
you got some bad habits.
Yeah.
let's talk about non-union wages. I mean,
Oh, I'm about to drive my truck off a bridge.
somebody the other day, 30, and 150. 30 on your arm, 30 on your truck, 150 a day per diem.
That's the
Then
same
they
as
call it
60 an
contract.
hour.
Yeah, and then they call it contract, but it's like that's not.
No, that's just stupid because you can set it up however you want to. Say you want to do 20 on the rig, which is mostly what people do because that's the most amount you can do without getting taxed.
22.
Anything over 22.
Union
Yeah.
put that out.
That's good. So 22, and then that's 22 tax-free dollars. That adds up quick. By the end of the year, you done made $50,000 just off your rig pay.
Yeah. Dang.
Do the math. I bet you I'm close.
I can't. My phone's up there.
All right, I'll do it. Let's see. I got to know now. All right, so we got 22. $22 an hour times, let's see, let's say 60 hours a week. Somewhere in the middle. So 1,300 a week times 4 times 12. 63,000. That wasn't too bad off.
Non-tax.
I mean, you're going to be off for at least 4
Oh
weeks.
yeah,
you
yeah.
know?
So yeah, I was
About
pretty
50.
close.
Yeah, because hell, right now we're about to start looking for another one. We got like 2 weeks left on this one.
If y'all ain't figured it out, I know pretty much everything about everything. Just ask me.
All I know how to do is run beads.
Yeah, we know,
Yeah.
and that's all you need to know how to do.
Yeah.
Because
Whenever I go test,
we're gonna
I
roll
just-
the red carpet out for you
Yeah,
whenever you get out the truck.
that's all I do is whenever I take a test, I just put the bead in. They're like, here's your papers.
Yeah,
That was pretty impressive.
yeah,
Yeah.
that fast.
Yeah.
I mean, you talking about half a rod on a test, both
Yeah.
sides.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Skating, son.
You did a whole side with a quarter of a rod, dude. You're hired.
Yep.
Yeah. Then I went ahead and brother-in-law lanes with him because
Ended up welding the whole thing out before he could even get his rod lit up.
I went to strike it up, and he was at the bottom tack. It's crazy. I was. Hey, we did throw this test together pretty fast.
yeah.
Some of them go good,
That
and
was
some
my,
of them you just fight.
that was my first one.
But
that I was
sometimes they
like,
get that shit pipe that's just, it don't take no metal. From the bead to the cap, it welds like crap.
And it was going so good. Lane had the bright idea to put himself up against a wall to take his welding test. Like, he didn't have no room over there on a curve. Like, where he put
sparks bouncing back and hitting.
yeah,
the
where
face.
he decided to test at, I was like,
yeah, I don't know.
I guess it was going too good for him. It's like, I need a little bit of competition here. Like,
Yeah.
I need something.
Yeah, we got to make it a restricted test.
Yeah.
I was like, man, I need some. I need to work for this one. I guess it's going too easy. Then we put the bead in there, and then that guy come out and said, "Y'all already done?" Yeah. I was like, all right, Cap, don't come get me till y'all ready to bust straps.
That's the ones I like.
I was like, all right, then. Y'all, and then they was talking about welding it all the way out, and I was like, man, I don't want to weld this thing all the way out. He was like,
On your butt?
on the branch.
Yeah, that's the worst.
And we got down to like putting the hot pass in it. He was like, it's my birthday tomorrow. I was like, bet. We're just gonna do the ears and the throats and call it a day. And
I guess the best we ever did, me and Heston, you know Heston Alexander, we got to testing for Black Hills in Arkansas, and it was 2 butts, 2 branches, and a sleeve, and we knocked that out in a day and a half, pretty much.
Yeah.
So, and that's having to tack the sleeve up and all that. And I actually had a redo on my low high. I had a little bitty and this dude had the magnifying glass. Like here you can see. You want to look at it? I'm like, dude, if you got to pull that out, it ain't nothing there.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you either busted the test or had to start all the way over. You can't just fix that spot and then or cut another strap. No, I tried to do that, but he's like, man, I can't let you do that. You're gonna have to run a whole nother one.
Shit.
So, 3 low highs.
Yeah. That's some.
Or 3 butts, excuse me, 1 downhill, 2 uphill. And then the low high on the branch is never enjoyable.
I practiced one before, and it sucked. I don't like low high.
I don't know where to start on them. It's like we're a fire up with that low high. It's always like
do
should
I
I
go
start
downhill
right
or?
right?
And then you got this much further to go, and you're like, I can get there. It might be downhill, but I can get there, and it just don't.
And then it passes your rod, and you're like, well, that's gonna look good.
Oh yeah. So, what y'all doing over on y'all's side of the laurel?
I don't know. They hate us.
Yeah, y'all been bowed up this week.
I mean, I've been doing a bunch of I helped them bolt up a little bit just to get out of the truck. You know, I'm not gonna try to take nobody else's job. And I'm not going to help them when they actually need help. But if I feel like going out there.
If I just get bored or something.
Yeah, I like to see them in a bind because whenever I'm welding, they don't help me. So I like to see them down there bowed up. Because what I don't understand, you know, welders usually the last one on the job site, first one to leave. But then, you know, welders are out there bowed up, welding all day long. And the hands, they chilling.
Most of the day.
But then whenever all the welding's done and you to the end of the job, well, they gonna send them welders, get them off the payroll. They won't let you make no full check.
Yeah. Yeah, that's. And then the rain don't help at all.
Mm-hmm.
And we got rained out today, and it didn't even rain. It's crazy.
So if any of you YouTubers are hiring, now I'm working for some good people, and as long as he'll keep me, I'm gonna work for him.
I like who we're working for too. They're pretty cool. They don't really. Couple coon asses, but they cool.
Yeah.
They got some jokes too, bro.
They mostly are.
Yeah.
They're usually good-natured individuals.
Yeah. Yeah, we were sitting there talking about hunting stories and all kind of stuff yesterday at about 6:30. We thought we were gonna get off at 6. We were there till like 6:45 because they were still making a weld. So just shooting the shit with them.
Riding the clock, making money.
Mm-hmm. To the owner of the company. He's just right there with us showing pictures and stuff. What did he show us?
That boar hog.
Oh yeah. They were in Mexico?
Yeah.
They were in Mexico and he was standing there at a buddy's ranch and they were just hanging out. And he said out of nowhere he heard something walking up behind him. And he looked and he said it was a like 200-pound boar. And he started, what the hell? You know, I gotta get out of here. And he said, no, he's all right. Just give him some of that beer. That's what he wants. Cuz was drinking
Ain't
a
no
Corona.
way.
Yes.
I'm thirsty.
Yeah. And then he showed us a video of them drinking the Corona.
Mm-hmm.
Big ass boar hog. I was like, no way. It's just crazy how much people see some crazy stuff. You think you see some crazy stuff? There's some people out there seeing some stuff that's crazier.
Oh, that's another thing I did work the other day. I don't know if you saw my Snapchat, but I was out there picking them blackberries.
Oh yeah. Get them while the getting's good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I ate them all this morning. I had a whole great big old bowl of them. I ate every bit of them.
I remember them things, dude. You bust one and get that little juice on your fingers, and it'll be everywhere.
Oh yeah, it stains
you'll
your
have
hands.
Red fingers for weeks.
Yeah. Yeah, I used to love eating them things.
Yeah, back when I was an Indian, I used to paint my face with it.
What about honeysuckles? Remember those?
It's just not enough.
Yeah, I
I'm
know.
a gluttonous or whatever you call it.
Yeah, I'm about to indulge.
Like if I'm eating something sweet, I need a lot of it.
Right, yeah, you gotta pull out 47 of them.
They say if you can find the main vein though, it's like you got a bunch.
God damn.
It is. They say it's full of.
That ain't it.
No. That one just got some blood in it. Mm-hmm.
Oh, so the other day, Amigo was spacing for us yesterday. He said there's a union job going through because he's seen the sticker you put on the back of the damn turtle box. He's like, "Hey, you." I was like, "What?" He said, "You're 798."
There's one or two on every job.
I said, "No, I ain't 798." He said, "Oh." I am. I was like,
Hey, you want to go?
I said, "For real?" He was like, "Yeah, they're about to have a job go through Cleveland, Texas, over there by you." I was like, he was like, "Yeah, the lady just called me." I was like, "Hey."
Malcolm, you from East Texas?
Broadus.
Broadus? Yeah, I know where that's at.
I ain't been there. You been there?
I've been through it. Maybe saw a sign for it.
They said there ain't many. How many people live there?
200.
200.
That's all you need.
We got a. Well, no, we ain't got a bank no more. They shut it down. Didn't have enough money
Wasn't
there.
no money going through that town.
We got a lake
Yeah.
and one restaurant and
A
one
stop
gas
sign?
station.
Stop sign?
No, we ain't got none of them.
For real?
You just go where you ain't got to stop there.
Oh yeah.
And
No stoplights.
no diesel.
Oh, what the?
You got to travel about 15 miles
Oh,
to get
yeah.
diesel.
Nice.
That puts you in a bind if you ain't paying attention.
Yeah, Will.
Yeah. Hell, I gotta pay attention to mine. Once mine gets past a quarter, it's like you can watch it go down.
At least yours works.
You got a point. I should be thankful. I'm
Yeah.
looking at this the wrong way. You gotta do math to make sure you put the right fuel. Man, that sounds horrible.
Yeah. And if you leave your truck running, there's no math to
Oh
do.
yeah, what? That's impossible. You can't configure that. Not on the
Okay, I
job.
left my truck running for 3 hours. It ran. Oh shit!
Yeah.
I better go ahead and fill up.
You have to call that super smart guy in the wheelchair. What's his name? You know, what's that guy? He's in a wheelchair. He types in the computer and he talks.
Yeah, that guy.
He's super
Yeah,
smart, ain't he?
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everybody knows him.
Nobody knows his name.
Yeah, I don't remember his name.
Yeah, I saw him on a commercial or
Supposedly
something.
he's a genius though. He could do that math.
No,
No,
that's
but
that's what he typed out. I mean, anybody can type that out.
yeah.
I got a bunch of questions, some more questions
Dang,
on
for
here.
real?
Yeah. They said, what's the pay rate where you're at? I'm working as an employee W-2, so you get the rig rent as split check, what we call it. And it's 38, 18, and 100. So I'm working at home, so it's not good money, but I'm at the house. So I know that ain't no excuse, and I'm going to get ragged for it for work, but I mean, what do? That if you don't work for it, they gonna go call somebody that
Right.
is.
Yeah.
That'll
And you're
work
at
out.
Like I
Town
said
to
last
do
time,
it.
it's more welders than there are work, so
Yeah.
you're kind of at the mercy of the contractors.
That's
What are y'all getting paid?
We're getting paid 60 and 150.
Yeah.
So it's not W-2, it's contract.
Yeah, that's what you want.
Yeah.
You can stack some money doing that if you know how to
And they
hire a
supply.
good tax
And they
lady.
supply.
Yeah, I'm making money.
Supplying rods.
Don't let nobody tell you that you ain't making money on that with them supplying, especially.
Where is this dude going?
Now, you checking everything out. He's surveying the camper.
Heck yeah.
Okay, when did you start welding? I guess I started welding when I was about 23 or 24. Kind of just got into it as a job, as a welder helper or labor hand, helping a welder, and then I saw the welder's checks. And I was like, I gotta learn how to do that. So I had never picked up a TIG rig, and I picked one up and just started practicing on my lunch break until they trusted me enough to go out there and weld.
Whenever I started first welding, if you open the Bible to Genesis chapter 1,
when you said "Let
verse
there
3,
be light," that was you arcing off.
it was. I said,
It's probably
Jesus.
Art Martin. It's probably
I
cut
said,
out.
Jesus, please turn me up 10. And he turned me up 10.
And he said it was good.
It was.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I put that beat in.
Yeah, we did all that great. You got. You got the salty and pepper going on.
Yeah,
Salty pepper.
Salty pepper, something like that. I think my wife told me something about that one day. My bad.
distinguished.
Yeah,
Women love it.
yeah. It's like you're
It's not
sophisticated.
gray, it's wisdom.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah.
I ain't got none of that.
All right, what's the plan to get out of welding? What makes you think I can do anything else?
Hit the lottery.
I mean,
I gotta play it, but one day I'm gonna pick up a ticket on the side of the road.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be like, all right, here we go.
I'm doing these podcasts, you know what I mean? I'm using the internet, trying to monetize and just see what opportunities in this. And so I won't ever stop welding, though, not till I get tired of it.
Yeah, I honestly have.
Even if I had enough money from TikTok or YouTube or whatever, I'd still go weld. I mean, what am I going to make videos of if I don't weld?
Right.
That's my whole thing. That's all I do is weld, except for during hunting season when I go hunting. And that industry is like saturated for real. Everybody's taking a video camera hunting now.
I ain't even thought about none of that. Then what am I doing after?
I'm just getting started.
Maybe, yeah. I have thought about it though a little bit. Hell, if I get to where I can't be moving around no more, I'm gonna go inspect.
Yeah, the welders that go to inspectors after they've been welding, they usually hate it. They're good inspectors,
I have
but
heard that.
it's hard for them to let go.
Right,
And
yeah.
just
They usually never sell their welding truck. It's like it's there just in case, but they know like physically can't.
Yeah.
and they don't do nothing. Inspectors have the easiest job in the world.
It's
so
hard.
so you go from getting stuff done and getting to see your work at the end of the day. Well, you made 24 2-inch welds today, had a pretty good day on the rollout wheel or something, and you get to see that piece built right there.
The Wiz up there
The
in
inspector,
Wyoming.
they just got to go home and feel like they ain't done nothing.
Wiz up there in Wyoming, and there's an inspector up there. He talked about welding a little bit, you know. He was a welder, and I kept on talking enough trash to him that he was like, "I'll show you I can weld." I was like, "You're scared, you won't." So he finished a tie-in for me, and he done good. He wasn't as good as me, of course. But
Yeah, nobody
he done
is.
all right. He done all right, you
Hey,
know.
it is getting warm in here. You want me to cut that AC on? It's gonna be a little loud.
Yeah, they'll have to deal with it. It'll be all right. We got to cool off for a second, so excuse the noise. See what we got. Why don't you like West Texas?
Almost killed. the
Okay,
dog.
East New Mexico. If that's the question, you've probably never been anywhere else. Maybe you were born there and have never seen another part of the country, but that's West Texas and New Mexico is probably the biggest shithole, depressing place that I've
Well,
ever.
I mean, the reason for me is because I don't want to drive an hour and a half
You're going
to just go to Walmart, and there's
Yeah.
nothing there once
It's
you
all
get to
spread
town.
out.
Once you get to a town, there's nothing there. You can't go. Hey, y'all want to go to Top Golf? No, we can't.
Where?
we,
7
Yeah.
hours away.
we don't have 3 days off to go to Top Golf.
Yeah.
And, I mean,
If you have mental health problems, I probably wouldn't go out west.
no,
'Cause you're probably going to kill
What
yourself.
was the question? Why don't we like it?
Yeah, they asked why don't we like West Texas. Everybody just speaks against going out there, and then everybody ends up out there because they always got work. But
There's always work out there. But you from like wooded areas where we're from, trees and everything. Man, you go out there, their tallest tree is this tall, and they call it a tree, but it is a bush, and it's just depressing, flat, windy,
sand.
sand in everything. Like me personally. That's why I don't like it.
Yeah,
Flatness.
everything about it.
Yeah. You are what you surround yourself with, and that is depressing. And whenever I go out there, I'll be depressed.
Right. I mean, Cheyenne, Wyoming, whenever I worked out there, same terrain and everything,
Yeah.
but you didn't have to drive everywhere to do something. You know, they had stuff.
What we got next?
How many inches do you get a day usually?
Each, or we weld together. So, and if we're on
It's
big
added
inch,
together probably if your brother-in-law, right?
we,
What, you looking at like 400 or 500 a day?
500 a day, and we're supposed to get 600 for the collectively. I'm pretty sure
With all the welders?
All the welders,
Yeah.
So me and Malcolm been getting
400 yourself, 500 yourself.
yeah.
And taking it pretty easy.
Yeah.
I mean, we shutting down at a little after 3 o'clock break
Yeah.
and just
I mean,
finding stuff to not weld.
you ain't getting compensated for you do extra and then you just get rewarded with more work. So
Oh yeah, and
you prove yourself and show them that you can do it. Show them what they could have, but they're not paying enough. So then you just back off. Like, this is what you're getting for what you raised.
Yeah, but watch me. I gotta
Uh,
make 2 cuts. Sorry, I'm not gonna get no more weld done today.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you get 400 inches before lunch.
Yeah.
Then they're like,
you got zero
then you
after
don't
lunch.
get nothing after. And they're like, what happened?
Had to make some cuts. I sat in the truck. My helper got out there and made some.
That's so true. Oh yeah, we'll take a long lunch. We'll be there, 30 minutes.
Well, the inspector out there, he's a Kunas, so he'd be cooking for us.
Oh yeah, bro.
So, I mean,
Y'all
it's
got it
hard.
made.
Yeah.
It's hard to just take 30 minutes with a home cooked
Yeah, you
meal.
can't do that.
Then
You eat
Then
that,
you
and
eat
you're gonna
way
be,
too much.
You're gonna be
Go to
stuck.
sleep.
then you eat too much. Then it's like, man, I can't do anything else for the rest of the day.
We need to make some cuts.
Got to cutting up pups that don't even need to be cut. If you could go back in time, what would you tell yourself the second month you broke out? Probably just to stay humble and keep learning, try to learn something off of everybody. You may learn how to not do it, but there's always different ways of doing stuff. There's always a better way to do stuff. So it just don't stop learning. Common sense, I guess. Second month.
That's pretty specific. I mean,
Yeah.
it's cool, whatever.
I mean, I probably would have said,
The gas prices are gonna be higher than hell whenever you 40.
drag up and get your name out there.
Well, that is something that a lot of people
Like,
don't
I was
realize.
scared my first job to drag up and go anywhere else and retest, because I made that first test and I was like, I'm good. Right here, I got a home.
A lot of
But
people get
pipeline
stuck
don't-
like that.
Yeah.
That's,
Pipelines, you can't have a home on pipeline.
that's exactly. I'm glad you said that, because where I broke out, that was, I could have stayed there, but second month I probably
You wouldn't have been where you
That's what
are today. And I'm not saying that, like, I like that outfit.
Yeah, I like them too.
They never done nothing wrong to me. I'd go work for them in a heartbeat. But as far as like just trying to be the best welder that you can be, you got to go out there and see who's good and see who can smoke your ass. If you're with these little group of welders and you can see that there's not really
You don't learn.
anybody pushing you, you're not gonna learn how to get fast.
You just learn one thing at one company. If you go to, even if it's Troy
Yeah.
or Strike,
You're gonna
or
top out, and then that's
Yeah.
it. That's all you can gather from them
but
folks.
you go to a ratty company, you're gonna learn some outlaw stuff,
Yeah.
And like there's
That's my
different.
favorite.
Oh yeah.
My second month, I probably would have told myself, bro, you can't even really weld that good.
No.
Like legit, I've told myself that before.
It's
Now-
funny, you make that first test and you're just on top of the world, then you get out there and you see these dudes just smoking you, which you didn't really have that problem, but I did for sure. My first job, golly, I struggled. They let me make it though, they
too,
did.
But on Fab, I struggled. I mean, Clinton had to like, hey, bro, you doing this stuff the wrong way. That's dumb as hell. Why are you doing it like that? And I'd be like, well, what am I doing? And then
There's a way to, it's a way to put it
Everybody-
all together to make it easy, so
Right.
you ain't got stuff in the way and
And at that time, I didn't know about, okay, let's put all this on randoms. And I'm like, what are we doing randoms? But then it made sense after we got to the end of it, and I was like, this is
Well, say you had one with a 6-inch pup on it or
Right,
something.
yeah.
Well, I mean, you don't want to be trying to make a fitting up to a 6-inch pup.
Yeah,
You want to go ahead and put it on a whole piece, and then cut it.
Yeah, so that's what I would have told myself. You suck, bro.
Right?
But I will say, going out there did teach me how to be a little faster. Now, I don't know if it was around the people I was around or what, but it's been I got quicker with it because it's more of a mainline job.
Yeah, you got to get with the program.
Yeah. Nowadays, they'll hide people. I don't know. You tell me they will hide somebody on the front end
Save their
to
face.
save their. I mean, we got the experience,
Yeah.
so it that aggravates me.
It does. They ain't got no business out there welding. Why you want welders like that?
It's crazy. I don't know. Whenever you first break out, you should get your ass drug on a fire line for a couple miles, just so you can know that hey, this ain't no joke. This is
That
how
way
it
you
goes.
know you don't know how well.
Exactly. Yeah. You need to be while you're trying to weld through break to catch up because these old heads are these better welders up here got their feet out the window, chilling, waiting on you.
Yeah, come on with it.
That'll make you hurry up, for real.
You'll figure it out. You will.
Yeah.
Because if you don't, I mean, if you out there with these guys and they're only this fast, and then you're just welding to the speed of the job, so you don't know you're slow until you get with somebody that's
That's
fast.
fast. And you're on your. You just took a knee and you're looking down. You can see his face.
He's coming up your side already.
Like, hey, bro, what you doing? Hey, bro.
Now, but the thing
You ready,
is,
Cap?
a lot of
Yeah.
people,
Malcolm said that to me all the time. You ready to cap? I'm like, no, Malcolm.
well, see, that's where everybody gets confused. It's not a race to the bottom; it's a race to flush.
Right.
Come on with it. We stuff metal in that thing.
Yeah.
Least amount of passes is humanly possible.
But Malcolm will put one hot filler in the 750 bomb. You ready to cap? I'm like, no, there ain't no way you're ready to cap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you just stuffing it in there so bad it's just falling out, hitting the ground,
Yeah, you
bouncing.
gotta scrape it out. But you got lava dropping.
I don't care. It is what it is.
No, in
It'll be all right.
1104, like you said the other day, you can hide a dead body in 1104.
You can. If you ever want to kill somebody and you need to know where to hide the body, just find the pipeline job to go on. Just melt the milling in there. It'll
Yeah.
pass.
Slag here with us. We're good.
That's right. He's out.
Is he?
He got tired of hearing us talk
Hey, this
Yeah,
dude-
he's
this dude-
tired of welding.
He's dude.
already.
He's sitting right here, like you laying down on the bottom, but he's sitting right here behind your leg.
Y'all need to get him some welding glasses.
Yeah.
Little safety glasses.
Some Tom Waters.
Yeah.
Tom Waters.
Little pipeline pup.
Oh,
That'll be our mascot.
yeah. Dude, I'm telling you, you just get a nice little, good-looking pup. You'll stay on the job. Everybody likes playing with it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this guy, the owner of this company, we hadn't even talked to him. You seen this puppy? Best friends.
How many jobs you been on that there wasn't a dog? There's always somebody always got a dog.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just about every time you go out there, somebody's bringing their dog to work every day.
That's what makes me want one, but I know I don't need one right now.
And it's
Then have a kid.
responsibility.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, they're much easier to deal with.
So much easier. I think it's just, I don't know. You see, you got, how long have you had your dog?
13 years,
God dang.
and she's been chill all them years. I don't take her out there hardly no more because she's blind and she hears all these noises and it makes her nervous. But she used to just come and hang out.
This dog literally will sit right here and lay down. Chill.
She ain't gonna bother nobody. Old lab.
Yeah. I was thinking about getting one of them. Thinking about getting a lot of them.
Them lab puppies though, they are hard to break.
Really?
Yeah, if you walk outside, that cabinet door will be chewed off.
Oh, shit. I think that's one of the reasons I hadn't got one, because I don't want to have one in the camper. At
Yeah.
least not yet.
Uh,
Like, I hate to say it, but my wife's here, I get one. She's just that camper on the phone.
right.
But then again, my poor sweet, she'd watch it chew the damn door off and be like, it was having fun.
It was having
I can't let her
fun.
do that. I love her so much. She would though. Or she'd be like, I didn't notice. You don't hear dog chewing on gravel? gonna get one day. I think I want to get as a rig dog a Connie Corso. This dog come out and cook 4 meals for it. Yeah. No, that's not.
I got one for you. How do you make a relationship work when you're working on the road?
I got a cheat code for me that a good. I don't know.
Your mic. Oh, y'all sharing?
Mine is God. It's almost the only way I can put it. Like before,
That's a good answer,
before me and Lauren even got together, I'd see her at the gym. I'd be like, "Dang, who's that girl? I'm trying to see who that is." Anyway, she wouldn't give me no time of the day. I'd Snapchat her. She'd open it and leave me on open, and I'd see her pull up, and I'd like see her open my stuff, and she just. But when I first finally did talk to her,
they're ruthless sometimes.
Yeah. When I first finally talked to her, she was like, "Look, I'm not looking for nothing. I don't want to be in nothing. But if we're gonna be friends or anything, we start anything," she said, "you are not coming between me and God." And at the time, I believed in God. I just wasn't like involved in it like that. So
That's the only way that if you got a girl with a mindset like that, that's probably the only way y'all gonna stay together.
And man, and when I say like that was ever since she got me going to church. I go to Word of God in Shreveport. Best church I've been to. Great people over there. And really, it's like if I wake up, she's not getting up at 4:30 in the morning. Now, granted, I still text her, say good morning, I love you, yada yada yada. But the communication, it ain't like all day. A lot of the couples nowadays, relationships, they got to talk to each other all day long. And I ain't never.
That's insecurity, though.
Right,
it
right.
is.
Like I'm working. I can't have my phone in my pocket all day, or I will be buying a new phone every week because I will destroy it. So I most of the time try to leave it in the truck or whatever. But I'm getting off topic. God is the only way because I don't have to worry about her. She don't have to worry about me.
Now, I think a lot of people overlook that
it.
and don't take that serious enough. Like, you think that you can make stuff work on your own, and it might work for a little while, but if you don't put God at the center of your relationship, dude, people will change up on you in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
And then you know what I mean? There ain't nothing you can do about it. You can't make them,
No.
put God first in their life.
No,
All you can do
you
is try to
gotta
be a
in their
good
heart.
example, but until they're ready to do that, I mean, relationship probably ain't gonna,
No. Yeah.
it ain't gonna work.
I don't know how everybody. Honestly, I don't know how everybody does it without that being the main factor. Because I'm telling you, I probably wouldn't have been able to make it work with my ex. Like, and I say probably about 99% sure because we just had God wasn't in the center of it, so it just didn't work. But this when I got here, that's money, dude.
That's the money, dude. Well, you knew right when she said, "You're not coming between me and God," and she was serious about it.
Oh yeah, that's a heart attack.
And I'm sure she stood by that.
Yeah, strongly too. So that's how. And for anybody that's having those kind of issues, go to God about it.
Mm-hmm.
Talking to her or him and trying to figure it out ain't no. You got to let him deal with it. So my only advice on that.
That's all you can do. I mean, you can't just waste all your life just trying to pursue something that ain't never gonna work if it's not centered around the right principles.
Right.
So,
Yes, sir. What we gonna do next? What's our next episode? What are we gonna put it out there and see what's up? Who wants to talk about what or?
we'll try to get Mason out here and talk about starting business from the ground up, welding business. He was so happy I mentioned his name on the last one. So here it is again, Mason. We'll get you out here, so go ahead and be rehearsing. I know you get nervous in front of them cameras.
I did too, though.
Malcolm dog, he
No, Malcolm don't get nervous ever.
Yeah, dude. I'm always nervous. Maybe not.
no.
No. Oh yeah. I wish we could talk about some of the stories that Malcolm has said, but I don't think.
They're probably not appropriate.
Yeah, they're not. I mean, some of them are.
Yeah.
Like, Tell them about you told me this one the other day about you was running bees over there for that one company, and you was like, man, thank you for letting me break out, you know.
Oh yeah. Well, hired in, went took welding test, whatever. Yeah. Got out there. He was like, hey, you and Kobe go run beads. I was like, all right. So we get up there, we run beads. First day, didn't get many, but had a decent day, you know.
Yeah.
And he said, man, y'all doing a jam up job. Appreciate the work and everything. I was like, yeah, bud, no problem. I said, I was young back then, you know. And I was like, man, ain't no problem. I said, I'm just glad you let me break out on this job. I said, I didn't know how I was going to pay my grandma back for loaning me that money to buy that welding machine and truck.
That ain't right.
I shook his hand and I walked off. Till I
He
had
was probably thinking, like, what in the world have I put in the front on the pipe gang?
X-ray ain't showed up yet.
Oh, yeah, he got cut out for days.
He called 10 of my buddies that I know of that night. They was all calling me, what did you tell Jared? I was like, what? Nothing out of the ordinary.
Just what I'd always tell them that.
Yeah.
Well, you tell them you just started, and then they can't hate on you for sucking, you know what I mean? They just be glad that you're doing all right.
Yeah, that's what we're talking telling everybody. Yeah, broke out, man.
Yeah, I appreciate you letting me break out on this job.
Yeah. And you did really good for your first job.
Yeah. Yeah, until you hit about 20 of them, they're like, man, you've been on your first job for a while.
Right?
Yeah. If any of y'all know where some work is coming up, just comment. I think we got about 2 weeks left.
Can the non-union welder keep up with you on the big inch?
Yeah.
You lying. Don't just say that.
Can a non-union welder keep up with me on
This fella here.
this one?
Mm-hmm.
He's doing really good.
So basically, you suck. What he said.
Bless his heart.
It's
No,
the machine, I swear.
It is. I welded with that
Oh, yeah, this
machine.
one is.
I was like,
At the beginning, it
at,
was,
at the yeah, he was doing all right. Then there's the
What you
other
got?
day.
What
do
are
I
you
run?
running with?
I run a classic one, 200.
200. They made, I didn't know this, but he
I
said
didn't.
they made 500 of them.
That's made up, dude. Somebody made that in the garage. This is a hot rod.
It was a tractor. No, yeah, I don't know what happened. I think the brushes are getting, once that classic 2 gets hot, it's so watery, you can't control it. Like, I was over to weld with it, and I was getting pissed. I started throwing it down.
He started saying naughty words.
Yeah,
I mean, you've had those days.
I have.
So, I was like, man, can you weld with this to make sure I'm not, like, trash? And he got up there and was like, what the fuck?
It'll ruin your confidence. But
Yeah.
welding's a lot about trusting that puddle and just trusting your machine and you know, you get in the groove of it. You ain't got to think about it. But if you're fighting that puddle, golly, it'll make you go back
Hate
to day
life.
one.
Yeah. And so I'm thinking, I mean, me and Malcolm talked about it. I think it might be the brushes. I just ordered some 200, 300 brushes.
Just get a Miller.
Let me hold 20,000.
I ain't got it. I spent all mine on my Miller.
No, I welded with a guy that works here, and the only thing I didn't like about it was you cannot slam it shut. You gotta have on there.
No, you ain't gonna slam it shut, but you don't want to.
No. And this
I mean,
is
when you
actually-
have to like, if you're on fab and you got to make it square, and you just happen to be them freaking Chinese fittings that ain't square, and
I
you
think
got to
that's
take
what
a
we
tight.
had.
Yeah.
That the reducer was just, it was out.
Yeah, if I'm slammed up, I go ahead and zip it and cut off wheel.
Yeah, see,
I'm not gonna fight a bead in there.
I didn't. I grabbed Malcolm's finger and I was just
Yeah,
you know, at 200 it'll dig to the other side of the pipe.
my machine will do it, but I mean, I'm putting a bead in on like 160, 170, and I'm just smoking the rod. It's going in there and it looks all right, but I don't like welding like that.
I don't know. And that's my only thing. Now, I think I welded with yours, or Cap with yours, or may have been Tracy's that I welded with, but whoever's, they weld Cap all that good, carry metal. I mean, or whenever you first get them though, they don't really carry metal like that.
When I first got mine, it had to settle down. It didn't start really well and good till about 1,000 hours.
Okay.
They are real harsh. I mean, they sporadic.
Oh yeah.
Throw a
That's what
bunch of
my machine-
BBs.
Yeah, that's exactly. I mean, that is what mine's doing right now. Fire going everywhere except for in the pipe.
It hurts.
Yeah. You got them boo boos. But I mean,
It's okay to admit you have a problem, bro.
yeah. Look, I got it on the side of my fucking face.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that there. I mean, that's probably a hazard.
Hit the jugular
I've been
one
trying
time.
to keep up with Malcolm. I have. But Malcolm has also shown me a good little bit on this heavy wall. You know. But Malcolm been doing this shit for how long?
18 years.
18 years. And still welds with 200.
Still probably learn something every day.
Yeah.
That's what we was
Every
talking
now
about
and then,
that
at least.
the other day,
Yeah,
because
you just tell me about that.
you was talking about, you was trying to explain to another welder, but you was younger, so he didn't want to listen to you.
Yeah.
I was like, I'll always listen to
It don't always matter about age.
No,
because, I mean,
that's
I'm
why I was
welding
telling
with some
him
old
I was-
guys that's been doing it wrong for 30 years.
Right.
No disrespect, but
Right.
they never really. I mean, they just had it for a job. They never really perfected their craft, and that ain't me.
And it
If
worked for
I
them.
do something, I got to do it all the way.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it till I'm gonna do it the best I can.
Yeah, that goes for anything.
And the motorhead's like, well, hell, I've been doing it this long like this. I can't change it up now, or you know,
You could, you're just too
you just
lazy.
you don't want to try to learn something else. But
I mean, I ain't got in on that Stinger beat. You keep them Stinger beats.
yeah, I don't want.
I ain't about that life.
And hey, explain. My reason might be different from y'all. That damn Stinger B, when I broke out, I almost got run off for an arc burn. And I don't know if they were just like, hey, being the beginning of my career doing it, like, hey, this is not what you do. We ought to run you off, just trying to scare it out of me. But I mean, it sure enough. I put that rod in there, bent it down, and struck up. As soon as I struck up, it right outside and dug. I mean, I fixed it, but they was like serious about it. That's why I don't run it.
That's what
Me, I
spooks
can't
me
never
about
find the hole.
it. Yeah, and sometimes it's hard. Some holes are easier to find than others, but at T300 you ain't got to worry about finding the hole.
No, you stick it in the slit.
Yeah. Everybody knows how to do that.
Yeah, it just slaps right on in there. No big deal.
Anyway. Oh shit.
Talking about welding, guys.
Yeah.
Oh, you
Yeah. I had some other stuff I wanted to add. I think. Well, so Mason next.
Yeah, we'll learn how to start a business if you want to do that.
Yeah, I definitely want to do that. I need that information.
It's definitely, you're going to make more money. And you're going to go through the startup phase, and it's going to be hard. But once you get your name established, just like in this business, the work will start coming to you.
Yeah, you either go bankrupt or you go good.
Yeah.
I mean, one of
Can't
the
be
two.
scared.
Can't be scared.
Exactly.
Yeah. He's got more than one rig truck run.
Like 3 or 4.
Could have figured it out.
I tried to get on with him this week when they told me I was going to be off today. I was like, Mason, you need a welder tomorrow? No, man. Screw you.
Love you. We're not friends anymore. No.
I'm going to probably go get a job at the grocery store just to be able to pay my bills. It's welding. It just,
You gonna get Prius also?
yeah, I might.
Yeah.
Just for a spare.
Right.
Just fair. Don't get that Tesla truck. Hey, if we got a Tesla truck and made it a welding truck, hey, bro, we'd be the first one ever.
Them things are ugly, dude. I couldn't do it.
No.
They are ugly. I ain't seen the inside of them.
I'm sure they're impressive, but the outside is ugly.
Why you got a 45 on the front end? Shit, lean back. Is that for aerodynamics?
I mean, the front of it's straight as it can be, though.
Oh, yeah.
So it can't be for aerodynamics.
What Elon was thinking about when he designed that
I
thing?
guess it, you know,
He had a little bit too much fentanyl in his cocaine.
Really?
Yeah, that's what happened.
Hey.
I mean,
I wouldn't go get another bag for that guy.
yeah. Why don't they put fentanyl on my cocaine? You know,
What the? Lucky.
I'm getting shorted. No, that is a good topic about, like, there's a stereotype about welders drinking and drugging, and don't everybody do that.
No.
You're gonna have some that do, and you know, to be in that clique, you got to do it with them. But I usually stay away from that crowd just because it don't work
It's
for
not
me.
a lifestyle I want to be a part of.
It don't work for me. It works for some people.
I let it compromise me one time.
Yeah, I'll
And
wind up in
since
jail.
And since I did that, I hadn't gone around it again. And really, because I'm not supposed to do that, being a man of faith, for one. And I was trying to be somebody else to fit in, and that's another thing that bothered me. So I said from then on, I'm like, man, I ain't. And I don't like feeling like crap welding.
No.
Like welding, I like it. I don't want to feel like shit while I.
Yeah, you want to feel like yourself.
Yeah.
And that's brings you back to West Texas. I mean, that's pretty much.
That's what they do out there.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's why I think that's why they do it though, because they're so miserable that oh man, let's get drunk. Hey, let's
I get it. You could get some bad habits out there.
Yes.
For sure.
Yeah, that's another reason I don't want to go out there.
'Cause, I mean, you're close to Mexico. It's out there.
Yeah.
Not hard to get. Cheap.
Find it anywhere out there. But yeah, that is a good topic to talk about for sure.
I've been recording on this thing for some reason.
Oh,
They
you
didn't.
deleted it? You didn't save it?
No, it was just 11 seconds.
Yeah, all they heard about was drugs in West Texas. Everybody knows about that. Got anything else?